In April 2019, a YouTuber named Jason shared a video on his channel Appy Mountain Trekkers. He documented his solo overnight trip to the mountains. His channel focuses on outdoor activities, showcasing Jason's various adventures in hiking, camping, and wilderness survival. During this particular hike, the journey up the mountain was uneventful. Upon reaching the campsite, Jason set up his tent and demonstrated fire-starting techniques as the sun began to set. While waiting for nightfall, he tried his hand at spoon carving. It was then that he reported hearing a strange noise from the mountain's summit. He dismissed it as likely being a bird or a small animal and continued his preparations for the night. Around 9 p.m. he turned off his camera to sleep. Less than an hour later, he was awakened by an unusual sound that he had never heard before. He described it as a guttural animal call, but since it was distant, he couldn't identify it.
I'm still rattled. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Shaken, he tried to return to sleep. A few hours later, around 1 a.m., he was awakened again by the sound of something or someone circling his tent.
Whatever it is, it's close. Hear that? Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them, and it started on the other side of my camp, went around my perimeter.
If you look closely at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you can see the reflection of what appears to be 1 or 2 sets of eyes as he pans his flashlight over them. Although many animals have eyes that reflect light at night, based on the fiery white colour of the reflection, it's very likely that Jason was being observed by wolves or coyotes. Dogs' eyes will also give off a white reflection, but considering it was around 1 a.m, it's unlikely that a dog would be walking around the mountain so close to his campsite. Coyote and wolf attacks on humans are rare, as both species tend to avoid human contact, but they can become very aggressive if they feel threatened, especially if they have pups nearby. If this were the case, Jason would be in grave danger. Chillingly, he doesn't even seem to notice the eyes watching him as he scans the area with his flashlight. Luckily, he went back to his tent and slept safely through the night. When he woke up the next morning, he recorded another update for his viewers, but never mentioned the eyes that his camera had captured the night before, suggesting he might have never noticed. After this video, there were no additional updates on the incident. In 2021, YouTuber Mattfield decided to spend a night in a dark cave located in the middle of nowhere in Australia. This decision was prompted by his friend's unsettling experience in that same cave and a dare to stay there alone. Matt's channel often features more extreme outdoor adventures where he isolates himself from civilization and survives on what he catches and hunts. In the video, Matt mentions that he didn't bring any water, relying on the hope of finding a source inside the cave. After about 4 hours of trekking, he found the cave and climbed down a man-made ladder. As he explored deeper, he crawled through various passages to see if they led anywhere. Around this time, he heard rocks falling near the entrance and some sort of animal moving around. At one point, he felt as though he was being watched. Things became more eerie around 11 p.m. when he began eating his dinner of baked beans.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my God. That was the sound. That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder. It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that. Holy.
There was no wind that night, making the moving chain all the more mysterious.
That chain moved just then. It is 100% now. I heard it before. I'm 100% certain it's the chain that I walked in, that you climbed down into this cave on. It's moving. Now, you can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even for... Holy... Oh my God. I got... You must have heard that just then. Look at my arms, dude. Oh, this is fucked. Okay. Well, I've got my backpack back on and I'm booting on out of here. I just heard a sound. It's not normal. It's definitely not a normal sound and I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours after I checked in with you guys, so it would be around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and that sound was not normal. I'm getting out of here.
After the unsettling noises ceased, he reconsidered leaving the cave and decided to stay near the entrance for the night. A few hours later, he heard hissing sounds resembling human voices. Despite searching the cave, he found no source for the noises. Besides large animals, the worst possible encounter for Matt would be a hostile squatter living in the cave. Although it's unclear why anyone would live there, Matt safely exited the cave at sunrise and never returned. Roy runs a channel focused on off-the-grid living, where he documents his experiences living out of his truck and travelling across the country. His videos typically highlight the beauty of nature and the independence of living on the road. However, a video from December 2017 captured a more disturbing experience while car camping in a parking lot. At around 1:30 a.m, a hooded man began walking around his truck, taking photos of his license plates. The back of the truck, where Roy was sleeping, was in complete darkness, so the man likely didn't realize someone was inside. He continued to walk suspiciously around the vehicle for several minutes. Eventually, he approached the side of the truck and tried to shine a flashlight inside. At that moment, Roy decided to alert the intruder by banging on the inside of the truck. Startled, the man fled immediately. It's unclear what his intentions were, but his behaviour suggested nothing good, possibly planning a carjacking. Roy relocated and spent the night elsewhere safely. Gary and Amica, a father-daughter duo from Scotland, document their travels around Europe in their camper van. Their content is generally wholesome and entertaining. However, a March 2023 video of a trip to Tensmuir Forest in North Fife, Scotland took a disturbing turn. While walking through the woods, Amica mentioned hearing voices nearby. After some searching, they discovered something unsettling.
Look at how scary that is. Put the torch on. Whoa. Here's even one on the ladders.
Oh, there's someone lying on the ground. Without
Falling
any
over. Look at the one on the ladders going up the tree.
Oh, yeah, that's
What about the washing line over there to the left? Yeah, there. Keep it there.
Among dozens of creepy mannequins dressed in costumes, they also found unsettling paintings hanging outside a small cabin in the woods. Other channels had featured the cabin, suggesting the mannequins and paintings were placed there in 2021. The purpose of this eerie setup remains unknown, but it was clearly designed to be as creepy as possible. As they left the woods, a car approached from the other side, adding to their unease. Fortunately, they reached their van safely. No further updates were provided about the creepy discovery. In 2018, a YouTuber named John posted a video on his channel Lost Lakes, where he shares his backcountry camping adventures in Canada. The video was recorded at around 3:30 a.m. in a remote area west of Chippewa, Ontario, where there was no cell signal.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. It's the middle of the night. I woke up at 3 a.m. and just couldn't sleep. And then around 3:30, I started to hear this pacing sound, and 45 minutes later it's still just pacing around out there.
Given the location, it's likely a large animal like a bear was outside the tent. Though bear attacks on campers are rare, they do happen. Other animals, such as moose or wild cats, can also pose threats if they feel threatened or provoked. In these situations, a camping tent offers little protection. John showed his viewers the items he brought for protection, including a hatchet, bear spray, and an air horn. Near the end of the video, he noted that his car was just outside the tent, but he couldn't find his key, probably leaving it in the car. Fortunately, he slept through the night safely and never identified what was pacing outside. Love Sundays is a channel run by Shan, who shares his solo camping adventures across the UK. In a video from September 2022, Shan recounted a night camping by the roadside in Cornwall. Despite not being allowed to camp there due to parking regulations, he tried to remain as inconspicuous as possible. Before sunset, he prepared dinner quietly inside his van. Around 9 p.m, he turned off the lights and went to bed. Everything seemed fine until about 2 a.m, when things took a disturbing turn.
I just heard something outside. Okay, I think they've gone. They literally tried to get in the van. It wasn't just a knocking, they were trying the handle.
It's not uncommon for solo campers to be asked to move, especially if parked in restricted areas. However, law enforcement typically knocks and announces themselves before asking someone to leave. In this case, the person outside was more likely trying to break into Sean's van. Fortunately, they left after only a few seconds, and Sean remained undisturbed for the rest of the night. Such encounters can be extremely unsettling, but Sean woke up unharmed and continued his journey the next day. Thanks for joining us on this chilling journey. If these camping encounters gave you goosebumps, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest spine-tingling stories. Have a creepy camping tale of your own? Share it in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring the unknown.